this is Allison, and I'm so excited that you found the fast track and how to get your feed wet. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the process of this fast track pretty quick, but you'll see down below that there are modules that break it down piece by piece. I just wanted this to be an overall big kind of a roadmap to help you to get to your end goal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you the 12 steps that are involved in this fast track. And if you're like, oh my gosh, 12 steps seems like a lot, you guys, hang on. One of the steps has to do with eating donuts. Like, I think it's required. Now, if you're gluten-free, there are gluten-free donuts out there too. So, enough excuses. Let's get started. Okay, so here's what I want. I want you to be able to pay off the majority of your course and start building your brand by week 4. And I don't want you investing a ton of money on product. Reach out right now and pinky promise me, like, put it up in the air that you are not going to spend a lot of money. Do not do this. Don't spend money you don't need to. What I want you doing is testing the product first. I know this goes against what so many people say about how you need to spend a lot of money in e-commerce, but I'm here to tell you and to break that down that that is not the way to go. All right, so here we go. Here is the trail that I'm going to take you on. Number 1, join the 0 to 100K system. Guess what? You already did it. You're already in here. You're already an official member of the Because I Can clan. When you join the 0 to 100K system, and then I'm going to take you on this journey to where you make your first dollar online, and we call that #ClanWin. Now, if you post that over in the private Facebook group, then there might be something headed your way in your mailbox. We all have a surprise in snail mail, right? And I'm guessing you might be able to tell what it is, but you have to promise me you'll keep it a secret and you'll act super surprised when it arrives on your doorstep. And then we keep growing to the 10 Grand Clan, and yes, post that in the group too, and then there are additional presents that arrive on your doorstep. And like I said, you have to promise me you're going to act surprised. And then we have the 50 Grand Clan and the 100 Grand Clan, the journey to help you get to your $100,000. All right, so let's talk about the reason why I absolutely love e-commerce. Number 1 reason is that you can do this in your pajamas. I'm not kidding. When I was a young mom, oh my gosh, for me to be able to get out of my pajamas by 5 was like a miracle because I had 4 babies at my feet. I could barely get anything going. And that is one of the beauties of e-commerce, is it just runs and you don't have to be the face of it. You can let it run while you're at work or while you're volunteering for your kids' school, while you're sleeping, while you're in Disneyland. You don't have to attend to it every single second. And I think that is one of the beauties, is you literally can stay behind the computer in your pajamas where you don't have to do a ton on social media. Now, as you grow, I will show you ways to incorporate social media, but at this point in your e-commerce journey, you don't have to do it if you don't want to. And then the best part is you don't even have to wear a bra or knickers. I had to include the men in this too if you don't want to, because guess what? No one even knows. So get comfortable, because these 12 steps are going to lead you down your journey and make this your reality. But here's the deal. You have to put in the work. You have to do it. It's one thing to just look at it and say, oh, that's nice. And it's another thing to go out and get it. And you will see over in the 0 to 100K group, people posting their clan wins all the time because they are making this happen. They're going out there, they're putting in the effort and energy and reaping the rewards. Now, before we get started, I want to remind you about the roadmap. And the roadmap can be found right here in the welcome section. And we're going to be going over this gray part right here. And you're going to be able to print it off. You can check mark it, cross it out as you go. But this is what we will be following right here for the fast track to cash. This is the one that's going to help you get cash in the fastest and help you get your feet wet so you can learn how this whole process works. Okay, so here we go. This fast track can bring you in about $50 to $300 on an average sell. This is not the $3,000 to $7,000 days. That is in the rest of the course. What we're working on right now is getting you those fast wins to help you build your confidence, to help you see how this process works, and then you'll start working into $3,000 to $7,000 days. All right, this is all that some people do. And you know what? They're super happy here, where they've sold $77,000 to $129,000 in a year. My sister Annie, she actually did the same process over and over and over again in her 9 months, and she ended up with $129,000 a year. So some people are super happy here, but some people want to take it to the next step and to grow. This is not for brand building. If you are coming in here thinking that you want your name to be the brand and like have this big, huge brand, this fast cash to track, say that 5 times fast, is not the way to build a super strong brand. What it is help you to get cash flow coming in so you have money to start building your brand. And it's not a very long sales plan. Your brand, your building, that's your super long sales plan. Now, again, it will help you learn the trends, importing, shipping, and getting that cash flowing. And this will be rolling as you start building your brand the rest of the course. Separation on this fast track and what it all entails. All right, so here are the 12 steps right here. Now remember, they're found on the roadmap, and you can print this off and you can check it off step by step by step to help you knock this out of the park. All right, so let's go through these real fast right now, and then I will dive into each one. Number 1, you're gonna set up your business properly. Number 2, I'm gonna show you how to find the trending products. Number 3, order samples. 4, take pictures. 5, price your products. 6, submit to deal sites. Number 7, get your yes, and then you're going to order a small quantity. Number 8, confirm date with deal site. Number 9, it's game day, and you're going to sell your products. Number 10 is celebrate with donuts. It's my second favorite thing on this list. Number 11, you're going to be able to switch pricing, pictures, and product. PPP, I will go into that in just a second. Number 12, you'll ship your product. Number 13, this is my favorite one, and it's actually a bonus because it's really the whole reason why we're doing this, right? It's to get paid. We get paid, and then we can eat donuts, and then we repeat the process, and it's just awesome. This is what e-commerce is so magical. Why it's so magical? It's because you can repeat this process over and over again. And if you're repeating this process, like, you're just gonna have to do celebrate donuts and get paid over and over and over again. So let's dive down into these steps. Number 1, you're going to need to set up your business. Yep, you gotta be legal. If you don't, I don't want to know what's going to happen, but it won't be pretty. The government has rules, laws, and regulations that we need to follow, but have no fear, friends. I have it all listed right here for you. How to get your business set up legally. Don't skip these steps right here. You're going to find that in section 1, biz setup for newbies, right here. If you already have your business already set up, congratulations, you can totally skip this step. There are a couple things that I do want to go over if you already have your business or you're going to be setting your business up. The second one right there, B, you need to make sure that you have a separate bank account for your business. Do not mix your personal and your business bank account. You will thank me later come tax time. And eventually you'll get an accountant, and they will double thank you for having a separate bank account for your business. So please do not skip that step. And then the third thing is to pick a name. Now, I know this is crazy, but honestly, this is where most people get stuck, is picking a name for their business. And I don't want you to get stuck here. Now, one of the best things about choosing a name for a business, if in a month you're like, oh, I don't like that name, guess what? You can change it. Bum, bum, bum. Yes, it is possible for you to change the name of your business. And it's called a DBA, doing business as. And you just file it with your state. It's super fast. It doesn't cost very much. It's like $15 or something like that. And then you can move on. When I started my first e-commerce business called Pick Your Plum, it wasn't called Pick Your Plum. It was called Makia Creations. And I'll tell you what, that is like the dumbest name in the history of ever because no one could spell it, no one could say it. And I ended up switching it to a new name. Pick your plum. It worked. It worked really well. So to help you get over that, I've actually made a little video. If you scroll down in this section that you're in right here, you are going to see a little video that just might give you that little kick in the tush that you need to be able to choose your name. Just do it. Don't get stuck there. Pinky promised me right now that you will not get stuck in choosing a business name. You can always change it. All right, so here we go. Step number 2, where and how to find the trending product. Let's enter in the secret trend generator. Bum, bum, bum. You're going to be able to find that. It says right here in the roadmap in lesson 5. So if you go down and you click on lesson 5, the very first one is the secret trend generator right here. And what's going to happen is every single day, this pulls up the top selling products for the day, which is pretty darn magical. Next, step 3. Now that you've found your trending product, you've watched the secret trend generator, you know what you want, then you're going to need to be able to get fast samples. So how do you get those products to you to help you to be able to sell them? So these are the sites that I use today still, and I recommend DHgate, AliExpress, Fashion Go, and yes, Amazon. And I'll show you what I mean when I'm talking Amazon. DHgate, AliExpress, and Amazon, it's open to everyone. You don't need anything fancy. You don't need to get your EIN or your LLC before you order. You can just order today. Like you don't need a license. Now, Fashion Go, you need to apply. And it does take a couple days. They're going to ask you for your EIN, which, remember, up here, if you're like, what's an EIN? I show you in right here, how to set up your business. I show you what an EIN is. And they're going to ask you for an EIN. They're also going to ask you for previous purchase invoices from other companies that you've worked with. If you're brand new, you're not going to have any, right? All you have to do is email them, tell them that you're new, and they will waive that. That's just a little secret that we've learned in the Because I Can Clan group for people to be able to get into Fashion Go a lot quicker. And that ships directly from California. So you're in the fast track to cash watching this movie right here. Underneath it, I go into every single one, Fashion Go, Amazon, and then DHgate and AliExpress. And I go into more detail, and this is your homework to watch those things. Now, what I want to do is I want to talk to you a little bit about Amazon. Like, what? You can order stuff on Amazon to resell? Well, this is what Bridges did. Bridges is my daughter, and she needed to make some money. So she bought $20 in mushrooms from Amazon. So she bought these little mushrooms. I think she had to buy some of the rocks from the craft show. And then she went into the backyard and got the other items. And she created this fairy garden kit and sold it online and ended up selling over $200, you guys. Like, talk about a great ROI. Being able to put in $20 and get $200 back, like, that's pretty cool. And that's an example of how you can use Amazon to get things going. In the Amazon section right here, I take you step by step on how we found these, and like it goes into a little bit more detail. I just gave you a high view, and then down at the bottom of this section, you're going to see her video on turning $20 into $200 cash, and you can see her expression where she did it. She's a cute little girl, so you can watch that right there on how she made it work. Now here's a question I get asked quite a bit. Why order samples? The reason why you want to order samples is because sometimes pictures don't always tell the truth. And you're also building a relationship with that manufacturer or that vendor. So when they have on their site that it is made of 100% polyester and they'll ship to you in 3 days, you want to make sure that when you get it, it's 100% polyester and they ship to you in 3 days. If they ship to you in 3 weeks, then you'll know that their shipping's just not what they said it would be. And so you want to order samples so that you know how this company works. Okay, now we're on to step number 4 of taking pictures. Now, if you need help taking pictures and knowing how to take pictures, the best way to do it, section 8 right here, I show you step by step how to make your pictures magical. You don't need fancy equipment. I hardly ever use fancy equipment on my product pictures. I just use the shade. And shade gives me the best lighting ever. And then I also show you how to make your pictures pop a little bit. All right, now when you first get started, you can also ask your manufacturers, your vendors, like the people on Fashion Go or the people on DHgate, to use their stock photos, but you need to get permission to use them. If you don't have written permission, I promise you it can get super messy. Also, DHgate and AliExpress, they have been known to steal pictures, so you need to make sure you verify that they are the company's pictures and that they did not steal them online. But I know a lot of people that just use stock photos when they first get started, and they do just fine with it. Eventually, you'll want to start using your own photos to create your own brand, but in the beginning, if you want to start using stock photos, just get permission for it. Step number 5, pricing your products. Now, I've created a profit calculator. Woohoo! Now, you're going to have to limit yourself because you might just get addicted to calculating. I love it. So I created a calculator for you guys to use to be able to figure out how much money you get to put in your pocket. Now, you're going to be able to find that right here in section 6, the profit margin calculator. And there's a little video to show you how to use it, and then you'll be able to put your numbers in right here. And if you ever forget where it is, remember, it's on the map right here. Lesson 6, use profit margin calculator. All right, next thing on the list is you're going to submit to Dill Sites. And a Dill site is basically a marketplace that will list your products for a limited amount of time. So a lot of them are 72 hours. This is how you submit to Dill Sites. What you do is you come to their site, just go to sassystills.com, brickyardbuffalo.com, pickyourplum.com, and at the bottom you're going to see information. So this is the bottom of Pick Your Plum right here, and it says sell with us. All you do is click on that, and then it will take you step by step on how to set up your account. This one's Brickyard Buffalo right here. You will go to vendors, and once again, step by step. But all of these sites will have a place for you to be able to submit your deal. Now, Boutique Bargain Facebook, this is a Facebook group, and so it's a little bit different. All you have to do is just read their directions and their instructions, and you'll be on your way. Now make sure you follow the rules on all of these or you can be banned. So just make sure you read their rules. Number 7, once you get a yes from a Dill site, woohoo, you can celebrate. And then I want you to order a small quantity, and you should have it in hand before the Dill runs. Now, I want you to order a small amount, the smallest amount that the Dill sites require, so that you can test the product, you can make sure your shipping, your order, like everything's working. You want to order a small amount. Sassy Stills, they don't have a minimum, so you could just turn around and sell your samples that you got. Brickyard Buffalo, it differs. We've had some people say one price and other people say another price. Just email them and ask them, and they just differ a little bit. Pick Your Plum, minimum is $100 in product sales. Now that's not saying you have to have $100 in product sell, or like you don't have to spend $100. For an example would be, let's say you found a product that costs $1, you sell it for $10, you would only need 10 of them to sell. So it only cost you $10, but the value of it that you would sell on the site would be $100. Facebook group, there's no minimum, and stills, again, also differs. All right, so here's another question that get asked quite a bit is, why do you submit your products to a Dill sites before actually ordering? Remember, you've only ordered just your samples, taken pictures, submitted products, but you still haven't ordered the products that you're going to ship to your customers. And the reason for that is when you submit your products to a Dill site, they will tell you yes or no right away. And if they tell you no, then you just saved a whole bunch of time and frustration, right? And then if they say yes, then you can move on. But if they say no, you should probably be saying thanks. Thanks for helping me not go down the wrong path, right? So it's almost like a buffer of them helping you get to your products, your selling products quicker. Now, I do have to say that with a bit of a grain of salt, because there's always exceptions, right? So I had a product that I submitted to a Dill site and I got told no. And so I decided to skip over to the second section of the roadmap and use section 13. And what it is I worked with an influencer, someone who has a whole bunch of eyeballs on social media, and they helped me sell my product, and we ended up selling over $64,000, which is pretty magical. So when one door shuts, you know what? I'm going to show you the other doors that will open up for you. So don't get frustrated. Like, this is part of the journey, and we're here to support you and to help you. Okay, so number 8, once your dill site has said yes to you, then you want to confirm the date. And you want to make sure it's a couple weeks in the future so that you can hurry and order your products in. You have to have your products in hand before you can run a dill on a dill site, or I promise you it can get really messy and you can get blacklisted from those dill sites. So confirm the date with a dill site that's a little bit in the future. And then it's game day. You get to sell your products, and the dill sites are there to help sell your products for you. It is so fun, and you'll want to hit refresh all the day long. All right, so here are the 3 emotions, the 3 reactions that are going to happen on this day that you are listed on a dill site. Number 1, you hit a ground slam and you sell out. You can move on to step number 10 and celebrate with a donut, or 12. No judging here. And then you get to go over to the Facebook group and you get a hashtag #ClanWin so that we get to celebrate you and we get to send you a surprise. But make sure you hashtag #ClanWin so that we know. All right, then you're going to repeat the process over and over and over and over. Again, you've already done step 1 through 9, right? So just resubmit and let those dills keep rolling. Less work, more sales, all in favor, say aye. Aye, right? We all want that to happen. Okay, here are the other 2 reactions or emotions that you will feel that day. Number 2, you'll sell a few, but you wish you sold more. And number 3, you don't sell anything and you want to quit. If you do not have that feeling that I want to quit at least a few hundred times in your entrepreneur journey, you are one blessed soul. That's just how you feel, and that's just super, super normal. So let's take it back here. You only sell a few, but you wish you sold more. You want to know the magical thing about these dill sites is you can go in and you hit a little button that says resubmit. You've already done all the work, so just resubmit and sell more. They've already been accepted. They've already been on the site. So you can just sell more. It's pretty cool how that works. Now, if you don't sell anything, or you're like, it was just, the sales were just kind of slow, I want to see if I can tweak and improve things, I want you to come to step 11, and I'm going to hold your hand and walk you through it, figure out what is wrong. And so what I've done is you're going to scroll down to the bottom of this section, and there is a video right here on what to do if your products are not selling. Let's say you don't sell anything on your first time. You cannot give up. Let's say you entered into a swim meet and you've never been in water at all. You can't expect to win every single race if you've never even floated in water before or swam in water before. There is some learning, and that's why I'm here to help you and hold your hand. We are here to help. And so one thing you can do is watch Failure Way to Success, lesson 7.2, and it'll pick you up and get you back going. And then number 11, exactly what you need to do to help you to sell more. You guys, this is a journey, and I've said this before, we're here to help. So keep going. Step number 12, ship your products. If you've never shipped products before, check out lesson number 10, and you will hear my husband talking some shipping. Now, when you get going, I don't want you shipping at all. You should be running your business, making sales, growing it. Someone else needs to be doing the shipping for you. I recommend hiring it out or using shipzoom.com/because-I-can-clan. Right here, they will ship it for you. Now, if you're in another country, let's say you live in Canada, I would highly recommend using ShipZoom, especially if you're working with dill sites. because you don't have to pay the customs and the whatever laws and extra fees and all that kind of stuff. Just ship your products to ShipZoom, post them on the Dill sites, and then let them do all the shipping. It's pretty magical. And ShipZoom, they have 0 setup fees for a clan. I worked with them. Matt up there, they're rock stars, you guys. They really want to help us and help our clan rock the e-commerce world. So reach out to them. They can help you with your shipping. Step number, this is actually number 13. It's a bonus. I know. Like, it's not like you don't even have to do anything, but it's the biggest, awesome, most bonus ever. 13. Right there, get paid. Right? Like, that's why we're doing this. You did it. You made the money. After you go through this whole process, you should be putting money in your pocket where it belongs. And you guys, like, repeat this process over and over and over. Once you start making sales, sell again and sell again and sell again. Now, the first time you do it, there's going to be more to learn, right? That's with anything. The first time we learned to walk, the first time we ever like sat down at a piano. Like, we have to learn these things, and once we do, it just gets easier over time. So here are the pros and the cons of selling on a Dill site. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm just going to tell you how it is. Pros: you get to test your products before spending money and building a brand, which is like the best thing ever. You get to go out there and you get to get paid for testing and seeing if this works and seeing if that works and this product sells better and that product sells better. Like, that is so magical. I don't remember any test in high school that I ever got paid for, but in the world of e-commerce, you totally can get paid to test products. Well, that's pretty magical, right? It's lower out of pocket. You don't have to go and invest in a ton of money to see if a product will sell. Literally buy the least amount possible and test your product. It can help you get the cash rolling in faster. You're not worrying about building your site. You're not worried about building your email list or your social media. Like, you can start very, very quickly. You get to learn the market really fast, and you get to streamline your system to work out the kinks. Imagine if you opened up your shop tomorrow and you had 1 million orders. Like, you would die. It would be a huge mess. You wouldn't know how to ship anything. You wouldn't know, like, oh, that would just blow my mind right there. So the beautiful thing about doing these Dill sites is you get to start at 0. Then you get to start at 1 order, and then 2 order, and then 10 order, just so you can work out all the kinks and make sure that things go out smoothly, so that one day when you go out there and you sell 1 million products, you'll know how to handle it. And then you get to pay off the course, and it's real life education. Like, what better way to learn than to actually do? All right, here are some of the cons. With Dill sites, you're gonna have higher competition. You're gonna hear no more when submitting to Dill sites, and it's a little bit saturated. Now, these are Dill sites, right? When you build your own brand, you will unsaturate yourself because of your own branding, and I will talk about that later, that you will not be saturated. But if you're selling the exact same thing that is selling from Fashion Go, it's the same thing, right? There's no extra value to it, so you could be told no more. But let me address that in just a second. And now you're gonna have lower margins. When you're working with DHgate, AliExpress, Fashion Go, Amazon, you've got middlemen, and those middlemen want to get paid. When you start learning more about what your product is, you'll be able to use a manufacturer who actually will make those products for you the way that you want them to, and you'll get a lot better deals. When the girls started selling scarves, they were getting them from California, and I think they were $250, $350, somewhere in there. But then when they went to China, they were getting them for 57 cents. So they used the higher or the lower margin products first to test. Then when they proved that they were selling, then they went to China, and their margins increased dramatically. And you will have lower sales, so average of $50 to $300, but honestly, like, that can add up really, really quick. And I'll show you the math in just a second. You normally won't have you don't have a $10,000 day on a Dill site. Average is about $50 to $300-ish, somewhere in that range. So if you're hitting that, know that you are doing amazing. And then it's really not for brand building. You can't build your email list. You can't build your Instagram account. It really is to help you get cash coming in the door. All right, if you get denied on a product, it means, here are some things that it could mean: that your product is not trending. Go back to the secret trend generator and look at it again. It could mean that your pricing is too high for a deal site. It also could mean that the deal site is selling too much of the exact same thing. I remember when floral dresses came out. Oh my goodness. We had so many submissions on Pick Your Plum that we just had to turn people away, or the whole site would have been floral dresses like over and over again. So sometimes they're just selling too much of the same thing. But on your own site, it could be, you could sell it. All right, and then the last thing is your pictures are not good. Remember, don't be offended. They're helping you to get to your goals faster, and you should probably thank them for helping you get there. You're reselling a product here. You're not building a brand. Just resubmit again, tweak your pictures, tweak your product here and there, and make it happen. Deal sites are not your Hail Mary. It's a great place to start. They are a stepping stone to help you take it to the next level. Deal sites have their place, but it is not your end-all be-all. All right, warning, don't get blacklisted. You don't want to get blacklisted from these sites. The best way to do that is make sure you get samples so that your product, you know what your product is that you're selling. The second one, don't overprice your products. Remember, this is lower margins. And then you got to make sure that you ship out on time. So let's go back and talk about the lower sells that I mentioned before. I say that hesitantly because, like, look at the math right here. Let's say you made $25 in your pocket every single day. That's a little over $9,000, right? Like, okay. And then let's say you do $200 net a day. That's $73,000 right there. I remember when I first started, this was my goal. This was my goal, to make at least $200 every single day. You guys, you know what happened? It passed. I passed that. But the little things add up, and they add up quickly, and I want you to be able to do that too. So do your homework, get in the next sections, and make sure you're posting your clan wins when you make that first dollar online. I want to hear about it in the Facebook group so that I can send you a surprise.